Well, it talks about last week's performance. Even though we didn't get the result in the end, we were, quite pleased with the way the guys went about it, and especially from a developing point of view, and the way the group performed. We're in the fight. One kick away. You'd like to think we knocked that last one through, and we're quite pleased. So, yeah, it's a good sign for our group that we go in unchanged.
Is it a confidence boost for guys that are in, maybe some young guys that might not feel settled, that you're on the right track?
Look, we'd love to do that every week if we could, but we're looking at form. The white zone, the white zone. That's going to happen all. She's sitting up in that box, laughing. Sorry, mate. Continuity. We'd love to play an unchanged group every week. It would show that you're performing at the level you want to perform at. This year we've had a number of changes throughout the year. Some forced, some through injury, some through health and safety. So it is nice to go in unchanged this week. I think our opposition are doing the same. They're obviously in some really good form.
They're coming off a crack win against Freo. How do you plan on kind of knocking them down?
Well, there's a fair few things we've got to get right. They're an outstanding side, especially on the SCG. They play their best footy there. So that's our challenge, is to go across and, not many people will have us for the win on this one, but we will. We enjoy those challenges, and I'd say if you look across the year, we've risen to probably the more tougher challenge, and this is definitely one of those.
What is the challenge of playing on the SCG? How is that different from other grounds?
Well, it's not so much the ground, it's the team you're playing against. I think everyone has a huge amount of respect for Sydney and the way they play their footy. They've changed a little over the last few years. They're now quite an attacking side, very damaging off half back. They'd be one of the best teams in the competition at taking the ball length of ground. They've got a lot of speed and a lot of youth back there. So we'll need to play the game well in all areas, but especially in that, our defence from a full ground point of view will need to be spot on.
What would this win do for the boys' confidence at the back end of the year?
It'll just back in the momentum we feel we've got. I know from a win-loss point of view, it doesn't look like that if you look purely at that stat, but we feel like our momentum's going well. We go across with a lot of confidence, and we take on a side that's going to probably be in the same position. They're really confident on what they're doing at the moment, and for us, it'd just be another really strong win for us if we're able to get the job done.
And how's Dawson feeling after his bout of gastro?
He's fine. Yeah, he's pulled up really well. Missed Wednesday's main session, but that was more precautionary than anything. And some of these gastros that are going through at the moment are 24 hours, and we were a bit lucky with that one. So he's pretty confident. He trained Thursday, got another session in today that he'll get done, and we'll make sure he's ready to go.
Price been tagged in a fair bit to Sydney over the past couple of weeks. Given
Yeah.
the success that Auckland had with Tim McGuinness against Dawson, do you think Sydney might go after Clark for Dawson?
It wouldn't surprise us, and that's, Clark's a very good player when it comes to that and playing that style of role. So we wouldn't be surprised to see that at some point in the game, if not at the start. We'll have a few things ready for that, but at the same time, we like to let Geordie let his footy doing the talking at times, and so we'll let him play for a period of time and see how that plays out.
Is that the next evolution, I guess, or the next thing for Dawson to kind of work on? He's come with him now, he's the one kind of getting tagged.
Well, we want to work on that as a team, really. We'd love for teams to find that hard to do. Teams have gone to Laird during the year as well, so there are a number of different things that teams will come with, but we'll go in with our focus, trying to attack the game the way we know we can, hopefully make them change a few things.
Have you settled on where Dawson's best for you?
We've settled at the moment back behind the ball, but at the same time we've changed that in game, and these are things that we've set up with our selection. Being flexible as a group, being able to change in game if needed. We've got a number of guys at the moment that can play multiple positions, and that's something we think going forward you'll need to have. The game throws up challenges. We like guys who can play, whether it's wing half back, wing half forward, even on ball. We'd like to think we're in that position at the moment. Our guys are now just getting used to that, been able to perform it week in, week out.
Haley had a quietish sort of week or so. Before that, he was reasonably strong when he was on ball. When he was moved out onto a wing and then out of the side, what were those sort of conversations conversations like about firstly like the positional change and then his ownership?
Yeah, again, probably off the back of the question you just asked, he may start on a wing at a centre bounce, doesn't mean he's playing on a wing, during the transitional play. So, but they're hard conversations because Jacko, you're right, he was in good form, probably dropped away a little, and he would put his hand up for that, and he'll go back now and work on his game again. But he was getting some time on ball in that period of time as well. But those are the challenges that come with, we're selecting a side. Some will miss out, some will get the opportunity. We like to look at it more so from the guys that are coming in, that they're informed that, we'll select them in the team because they deserve to be selected in the team.
The last 5 weeks, are they picking your best team to win, or are they picking a team with an eye to 2023 in development?
Oh, look, we're still in both spaces. We have been all year. You don't make a selection purely on short term, although we are there to win games of footy. Ultimately performance outweighs. Do we want to perform for 1 week and then drop away? No, we're sustained success. So every decision's made with a number of different factors in. Continuity for players, that's where we're at this week. It's an unchanged lineup. There's also form, that we're going to pick on. So we're always looking longer term. We're looking at winning the game that weekend as well.
Have you spoken to Dawes about going up against his former side, everything around that? Or?
Well, Dawes has done a fair bit of oppo this week for us. When a player comes from another club, he knows them inside out, he knows how they play, he knows the coach, has a huge amount of respect for them. So that was really interesting hearing from him this week and what it is that Sydney do well. They've changed some stuff probably since he's left, but he knows the players well, so he knows the ground really well. We'll go up and have a run out there this afternoon and we'll probably hear from him again, but without putting too much pressure on Geordie and what Sydney do. He's given us a lot of information.
I suppose you wouldn't have had to have a conversation with Matt this week. Was there at least a touch base about he's still not in the side, or do you just let him go?
A lot of conversations with all the playing group this week around selection. Even though we don't make changes this week, we still have a lot of conversations around how guys are performing at the SNFL level. Got a really strong SNFL side at the moment that sit top of the ladder, and so those conversations are good conversations. We're able to talk about their form. We're able to talk about what they're doing from a pressure point of view for spots and how we just need them to keep pushing.